Hello everyone, welcome back to Inventor 719, and today I am making a review video on a brand new Canon. So this here is the brand new Canon released by pyrocreations.com. It is called the Trigger Cannon. It's a pretty revolutionary new design. Does not use any fuse or black powder. Instead it uses 209 shotgun shell primers, which are very cheap and easy to use. So in today's video I will be just going over a quick review of this Canon, doing a lot of firing tests and giving it my overall opinion. Quickly before we get to the shooting test, I would like to say that this Canon is available at pyrocreations.com and triggercannons.com, which is a new website dedicated specifically for this model of Canon, and it has free shipping for anyone in the United States. I believe the price of this Canon is around $50 American, which makes it a very well priced item, especially for how fun it is. And it comes with 8 available color options. The base, you can see I have a blue one, comes in 4 different colors, and the barrel comes in both silver and black. So you can customize it however you'd like. I got silver and blue because I think it looks amazing and also looks great for the camera. It comes stock with a 22 caliber barrel, which I believe is this one right here, but also available, you can see there's a .17 caliber barrel and a .3, which provides lots of different ammunition options. As you can see here, the bigger bullets, smaller, and the smallest balls. Also in the kit are just a quick little screw and a little pin for the firing mechanism. And then I also just got an Allen key so that you can tighten up your adjustability, as this Canon is adjustable for pretty much flat shooting and up on an angle if you want to do it that way as well. And then all you need to fire it are these 209 shot shell primers. These are shotgun primers, as you can see, number 209A it says. And these are really cheap. I think this box of 100 cost me around $4 or $5 up here where I live. And I also have some string to tie onto the firing pin right there once we got it all set up. So without further ado, I think it's time for some testing. First, let's go ahead and set up our Canon. So what you do is just remove these Allen bolts with a nice little Allen key, and then that removes the barrel from the base of the gun. And then inside the base you can see there's a nice little chamfered hole, which fits perfectly with the provided screw. So I have a big piece of wood here to ensure that the base isn't going to move, and then we're just going to go ahead and screw the base into the board. Just like that. Now you can see it's not going anywhere. And then we're just going to go ahead and quickly reattach the barrel with the 2 Allen bolts, one on each side. And I'm just going to be doing some close range shooting. So I'm going to set it up just above horizontal. That's probably horizontal. I'm going to set it up just above horizontal. And to make sure the barrel doesn't move, just going to snug it up a little bit on both sides with my Allen key. Now we're ready to load it. So it is now time to load our Canon. So we're going to start the shooting test with the .17 caliber barrel, then do the .22, and then finally the biggest .3 at different targets to compare how powerful each round is. So first we'll start, like I said, with the .17 caliber barrel. So to do this, we're just going to go grab one of our 209 shot shell primers and put it in the back of the barrel as seen here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and lightly pull back the firing pin and screw the barrel into the gun, or the Canon, sorry, I guess is a better word for it. I'm doing this very lightly as to not accidentally trip the Canon, of course. And then next up, I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these smallest .17 BBs. They're pretty much a BB. We're going to go ahead and put it in the end of the barrel. And I have nothing else right now, so I'm just going to push it in with the firing pin. Seems to work okay. And lastly, you can see I already have a string attached to my firing pin. I'm going to very carefully pull back the pin, or the firing pin, and insert the safety pin into the hole, just like that. So now we are live and ready to fire. As with any cannon, gun, or explosive device, I'm going to be wearing some hearing protection and eye protection. Here goes the first test. This is the .17 caliber ball shooting at a small piece of plywood. 3, 2, 1. Quite predictably, the BB went straight through our piece of plywood. It was only about probably a 1/4 inch thick. Went straight through, and it also continued on through straight into this piece of foam. There's the entry hole right there in the middle of the screen, and to be honest, I think that's it right there. It went on a bit of an upwards angle, and I think it went straight through the foam. I can't confirm since there's tons of holes in the foam, but I think it did. Next up is one more .17 caliber. This time we're doing it into a can of black beans. Firing in 3, 2, 1. This is quite an impressive little cannon. There you can see we have our entry hole, and on the other side we have a very clear exit hole. It went through it like it wasn't even there. I have now switched to the slightly larger .22 caliber barrel and respective ammunition, and we will be going through a black bean container and an apple juice container. Let's see what it does. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Looks like we knocked over both cans. Let's see what the damage is. So we actually have some very cool results from the .22 caliber. First, we had the black bean can again. There's the .22 entry. You can see it's slightly bigger than the .17 entry. And there is the .22 exit. You can see it mushroomed, or not mushroomed, but tore open it a lot better than the .17. And behind it, like I said, we had the apple juice container, and it went inside the apple juice container. You can see the entry right there on the apple. If I peel back the paper as best I can, kind of see it right there. It really dented it going in. It was less of a clean entry. It was probably slowing down a little bit. And you can see it dented the other side of the apple juice can, but did not make it through. The .22 is inside the apple juice container. Last shot with the .22. I've set up the plank of wood again. We're going to be shooting at the 3/8 inch thickness part of it. Let's see how badly it splinters the wood. Firing in 3, 2, 1. There's our .22 sized entry hole, and there is our exit hole. As you can see, it splintered the last few layers just a little bit, but the fact that the exit hole is about the same size shows just how fast this bullet was going, or cannonball, sorry, technically. Very fast, and we're going through around 3/8, I would say, thick wood. Very fast. Let's move on to the big .3 caliber bullets. I've now switched to the largest barrel. The .3 barrel is now loaded on the gun. And for anyone kind of curious at home, there is the .22, just dropped it of course, versus the .3. That is a much larger piece of ammunition. And we will be firing our first round at the apple juice carton. I'm imagining it'll go through both sides, but it is a much larger bullet, so I'm expecting it to slow down a lot due to the mass. Let's see what happens. Firing in 3, 2, 1. I'll admit that was a lot more powerful than I thought it would be. There is our .3 caliber ball entry. Just a massive hole, just opened the can right up. And the exit is even more impressive. You can see it opened up just like a can opener. Literally just one perfectly round hole. If it'll focus, there it goes. That's crazy. For those of you who don't really drink apple juice, this is much harder than your normal soup can. I can barely crush it with one hand. And the fact that that ball that size went through both sides of this can is quite impressive. Now I have one more target that hopefully really shows the true power of the large cannonball. So for the last shot, we're going to move on from the apple juice container and just go straight to the source. We're going to be shooting this old rotten apple, because we don't like to waste fruit here on Inventor 719, with a .30 caliber cannonball. I'm hoping to see some good carnage here. All right, firing in 3, 2, 1. Very nice. The aftermath of the cannonball on this apple is pretty much what you would expect from a real bullet. You can see we have our entry hole just slightly larger than the actual size of the cannonball itself, but the exit hole is a different story. Now, of course, this is a slightly mushy apple, but I would expect the same thing to happen to any apple. Just a massively large exit hole, very similar to when you see them use flesh composites like Jello and stuff. Crazy what that cannonball did to this apple and the apple juice canister. Overall, I am very impressed with this little cannon. Well, if you haven't been keeping track, that was 6 shots out of our Traeger cannon, and I'm going to do a post-shooting review, and everything gets very high stars. The firing pin moves smoothly every single time. The spring is still very strong. As you can see, it snaps very powerful every single time. The firing pin point itself is still very sharp. Clearly they did a good job making that firing pin out of a nice hardened steel. The base is still in amazing condition, obviously, and everything is just exactly like we found it. The barrels themselves have a bit of charring on the end from the explosions, which is expected, but the bores of the barrels, going to be pretty much impossible for me to show you in this lighting, but they're all smooth. What else can I say about it? Pretty much it is very, very fun, exactly as I expected, and for the value you definitely cannot go wrong. One thing I would recommend for sure is buying the additional, not that one, .3 right there, the .3 caliber barrel. I found that the ammunition also pressed a little bit tighter into this barrel than the other two, which also helped it propel out of the gun faster, as it had a chance to build up the pressure behind the ammunition. The .3 was insane, the powerful, as you guys saw. It went through the apple juice container, straight through both sides, probably without slowing down, and also the apple itself. Very exciting little unit. It is definitely not a toy, definitely a very dangerous gun, cannon, whatever you want to call it. Definitely be sure to wear your hearing and your ear protection when using this device, and definitely go check out the links in the description down below so you can buy your own today. Let me know if you guys want to see any more videos on this specific unit. I have a chronograph if you guys want to see me compare the 3 barrels in terms of speed. I think that would be a very cool test. Comment down below if you want to see that as well. And lastly, for anyone who stuck around to the very end of the video, I'd like to apologize for the barnyard noises. Some of you guys may know that I do my filming on a farm, so that explains these sheep and chicken noises. But without further ado, I'd like to conclude the video by saying thanks for watching. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe.